This is from the perspective of Hazel, who's a 16-year-old girl, just to clarify. My favorite book by a wide margin was An Imperial Affliction, but I didn't like to tell people about it. Sometimes you read a book and it fills you with this weird evangelical zeal, and you become convinced that the shattered world will never be put back together unless and until all living humans read the book. And then there are books like An Imperial Affliction, which you can't tell people about. Books so special and rare and yours that advertising your affection feels like a betrayal. It wasn't even that the book was so good or anything. It was just that the author, Peter Van Houten, seemed to understand me in weird and impossible ways. And Imperial Affliction was my book, in the way my body was my body and my thoughts were my thoughts. But even so, I told Augustus. My favorite book is probably An Imperial Affliction, I said. Does it feature zombies? He asked. No, I said. Stormtroopers? I shook my head. It's not that kind of book. He smiled. I'm going to read this terrible book with the boring title that doesn't contain stormtroopers, he promised. And I immediately felt like I shouldn't have told him about it. Augustus spun around to a stack of books beneath his bedside table. He grabbed a paperback and a pen, and as he scribbled an inscription onto the title page, he said, "All I ask in exchange is that you read this brilliant and haunting novelization of my favorite video game." He held up the book, which was called The Price of Dawn. I laughed and took it. Our hands kind of got muddled together in the book handoff, and then he was holding my hand. "Cold," he said, pressing a finger to my pale wrist. "Not cold so much as under-oxygenated," I said. "I love it when you talk medical to me." He stood and pulled me up with him, and did not let go of my hand until we reached the stairs.
What is the price of dawn?
The price of dawn is blood.
The price of dawn.
I have a funny story about the price of dawn, which is that I asked Twitter what would be a good title for modern Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, other than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And someone suggested The Price of Dawn, and I did not save that person's username, and I'm sorry. Because that's just thievery, and I didn't acknowledge them or anything, so I feel bad. It's a